Well, oh shit. Wait, gotta do my intro.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
I'm leaving it in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Filmbox Podcast, the greatest movie podcast in the world. I'm your host, Aaron Souza. I'm joined by my shark friends, Connor and Sam. And it's Shark Month, and we're talking about sharks and get excited for sharks. Connor, are you excited for sharks? Because I'm excited for sharks.
Boy, am I. I've never been more excited for anything in my life.
Starting off strong with this one, too.
Yeah, we really went for it this month. So, continuing our summer of fun, since July, Shark Week is in July, according to my very rudimentary research. And it's also the 2-year anniversary of our podcast. 2 whole years. And Connor's favorite thing is sharks. So I figured let's put them all together and do Shark Month. Oh, there's a tattoo. There's a tattoo. So yeah, we're doing Shark Month this month. And to kick us off in Shark Month, we watched Shark Tales. Shark Tale? One of the two.
Tail.
Shark Tale. It was a single tale of a shark. The animated movie from like 2004.
Yep.
I think. Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. But before we get into that, we gotta talk about what we've been watching lately. And are you guys drinking anything? So no, it's an early morning, but you drinking anything this morning?
Yes. So
All right.
I'll start with the beverage. I got a sparkling ice cherry vanilla. I mixed up the flavors a bit just because I was getting a little bored with my variety pack. So, and I've been a little busy boy this past week. I rewatched In a Violent Nature, because that's on VOD now, which still really good, still loved it. I watched Fancy Dance with Lily Gladstone, Ezra with Bobby, how do you say his last name? Cavanali?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller?
No. No.
Who?
You gotta bleep that out.
I will too.
No, that's staying in. I watched The Bike Riders with my girlfriend Erin, and it's funny because we went to the same theater that we saw In a Violent Nature, and again, this is like the only movie theater in America that if the ticket says 1:30, that movie's starting at 1:30. So I did miss like the first 5 minutes again. Might as well not hers. Watched A Quiet Place Day 1. What was that supposed to mean?
That is never her fault.
No, it never is, but
Exactly.
give me some credit. I watched A Quiet Place Day 1, Paris, Texas, Maxine, got early access to that one, even though it's out now, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Review's out too. I watched Shark Tale for today, and then yesterday I watched The Usual Suspects, Harakiri, and I just tossed on X.
Oh my god. Dude.
To be fair, I started Usual Suspects Friday, and then I just finished. Or no, Thursday, and then I just finished it.
Thursday.
I finished
Nice.
it yesterday.
Nice. All right. Well, I have not seen nearly as many movies as Connor, but I've also been on vacation this week. But even with that, I was able to see 3 movies. I watched Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, the legacy sequel to the Beverly Hills Cop series with all of the literally anyone who was in a Beverly Hills Cop movie is back in this movie. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of wild. And then watched Shark Tale for today's review, and then unfortunately watched A Family Affair on Netflix for a review, and that was something. But I'm gonna hop back on the train this week. I got plans to watch a bunch of movies, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, and I got water today.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So I, for a change, watched 8 movies this week.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was on a roll.
Yeah.
So I started off with last weekend. I watched Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1, the new 3-hour
Review
long
coming soon.
movie with Kevin Costner, directed and produced by him and everything like that. And then I went on kind of an animation binge. So I watched Atlantis: The Lost Empire, Mulan, Shrek Forever After, Ratatouille, Monsters Inc., and Shark Tale.
Wow. Shrek Forever After. That's a choice.
Well, I've never seen that one, so I've only seen the first 3. So I'm like, you know what? It's on. I'm just gonna watch it. And then I had to take myself to Lomania and watch Ratatouille. And then to round it off, I saw Warcraft on Netflix, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen this movie in a while, so I just watched Warcraft.
That's another choice.
I feel like I've heard of that movie.
Came out like 2015, and
it's
the
not
live
great.
It wasn't terrible, but yeah. So
Is that it?
that's it.
All right. I also want to point out, too, because Sam brought up a good point about Shrek Forever After just being on and sitting down to watch it. While I was on vacation, I probably watched a quarter to a half of like 5 different movies because they were just on TV. But I don't want to log them because it doesn't really count. I didn't really watch them, beginning to end, but like so many movies were on TV that I just saw like the back quarter of or like the first half of.
Same mindset. I've been watching a lot of shows too.
Yeah, me too.
I finished The Bear.
Ooh.
This one I felt a little. It kind of stalled out for me. But me and Aaron have been watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader show, and I'm getting into it. Like it's the first couple episodes are very much like The Bachelor, where it's just like they're like trying out, and you're like learning a bit about them, and then they just get cut. I'm like, oh man, her parents just got divorced, and now they changed her hair color, and now she's just at home.
No. Oh my god. Well, speaking of shows that don't really do it for me, The Boys I've been watching, and I've been enjoying less and less this season. This last episode, I was kind of like, all right, whatever. I don't really give to. I actually skipped parts of this last episode.
Same.
For the first time, and I was like, and Sam, I know you haven't seen it yet. I don't think. Have you seen it yet?
It's on the list for today.
So, like, there's a whole section of that episode where I'm just like, I don't want to see this.
I think your point too about it really going into like the shock comedy, it really hit that episode.
Oh yeah, it was like, all right, what are we doing? Like, what's the story here? There's nothing. Like, I am not interested in the story. It's just all like shock in your face.
Look, titty
bullshit.
milk. Literally in your face.
I've seen the memes of Anthony Starr, so
yeah,
I've seen that. Oh my
god,
but...
so funny, so funny. But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like whatever, But yeah, I mean, it was what it is. It's the show. It's the show. All right, do you guys want to do same? You got a game for us today, right?
I do. All right. So let me pull this up. Shit.
Nice.
Stall for time.
No, it just.
Professionals. We're professionals.
All right, I'm back.
That's it. Okay.
And we're here.
All right, so I have my Rotten Tomatoes actress game. So for those who do,
You need to come up with a better name for this.
yeah,
The Rotten Tomatoes actress game.
I mean, it works. It is what it is.
People know what it is.
R tag. It's the R tag.
So for those who don't know how this game works, is I have an actor or an actress, and then I'm going to list off 6 of their movies. 5 of them will be in their top 5 rated on Rotten Tomatoes, and then 1 just the throwaway. And it is Connor and Aaron's job to rank them and try to get them in order from most to highest to least and stuff like that. So,
Cool.
you guys ready?
Yep.
I have never been more ready.
All right. So first up, we got Jonah Hill.
Oh, Jesus. Jonah Hill. Okay.
So we have Superbad, Django Unchained, 21 Jump Street.
Who was he in Django?
He was one of the Klansmen.
Ah.
Because I just remember that scene of like, guys, I can't see.
Yeah. It's like, this is bullshit. Yeah, I remember now.
Hail Caesar, Knocked Up, and Moneyball.
All right.
Okay. I think the throwaway. I don't think Hail Caesar was well met. If I remember correctly.
I can assure you, Moneyball is either 1 or 2.
Yes.
Moneyball, I know, is in like the 90s.
I'm okay with putting that at number 1.
I feel like Superbad and Django are definitely 1, 2, and 3 in some order.
Do you think, and I'm just throwing this out there because I'm not sure, but do you think that maybe like a movie like Superbad was one of those movies that like when it first came out, critics were like, nah, this ain't it, and then it like became like an absolute sensation?
I think it hit the ground running.
Okay. Then yeah, all right. So I'm good with
Moneyball 1. I feel like Django's probably 2.
I'm good with that. Yep, that sounds right too.
Superbad.
Knocked Up, I feel like is going to be a prize sneaker.
I don't think Knocked Up was that good. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Seth Rogen movie, but I don't think that one was well received. That's why I was thinking that was the throwaway.
Okay, I that could be the throwaway.
So we have 21
I think
Jump
it's
Street
close
4,
between
though.
that. Yeah, I figure that's probably going to be right.
So Hail Caesar or Knocked Up for last?
I think it's going to be Hail Caesar,
I feel like it's Knocked Up.
but I'm willing to go Knocked Up.
Well, I thank you for
I'm willing to get knocked up.
I thank you for your trust in me. So let's do Hail Caesar 5 and then Knocked Up 6.
Okay, locking it in.
All right, Sam, we're
Read it
going
off.
Moneyball, Django, Superbad, 21 Jump Street, Hail Caesar, Knocked Up.
All right. Not off to a bad start today.
Okay.
For the throwaway, with an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, is 21 Jump Street.
Damn.
Excuse me?
Yep.
What?
Number 5.
Okay.
Number 5 with an 86%. Hail Caesar.
Nailed it.
Okay, so we did get that one right. Yep.
Number 4 with an 86% is Django Unchained.
Damn. How did you differentiate if they had the same?
It's
just
so
wondering.
it's rated on top, like on Rotten Tomatoes. It's rated like number 1,
Oh, I see.
2, and 3. So
I know
that's
this was
how
a
I went off
judgment
of it.
call.
Yeah, I mean, I just go down the line, really. So I guess you could. It's interchangeable, but
Probably has like
number
audience
3.
score.
Yeah. Number 3 is Superbad at 88%.
Nailed it.
Connor, do you know what this means?
Knocked Up is it can't be number 1.
There's no chance.
It can't.
Number 1 is, in fact, Moneyball with 95%.
Oh, thank God.
I was gonna say no. There's no shot.
Yeah, number 2 is Knocked Up with 80. Knocked Up is 89%.
That's wild.
Like, it's wild that Jonah Hill has nothing
crazy.
less than 86% in his top 5.
I mean, he's been in some bangers, but he hasn't been the focus in the like Superbad. Yes, 21 Jump Street. Yes, Moneyball. Yes, Hail Caesar. Don't know. Knocked Up.
No.
No.
I think it's just a
and
side.
Django. No. Yeah,
All right.
but like, whoa, Knocked Up was number 2.
All right, next
All
up we
right.
got Emma Watson.
Ooh.
All right. You could just do all the Harry Potters, and I would have no idea.
Well, in fact, there's 3 Harry Potters on this list.
Oh, fuck me.
So we got Little Women,
Okay.
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban,
P2, Azkaban.
and then Goblet of Fire.
Yep.
Ballet Shoes,
Never heard of her.
Nope.
and then Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Ballet Shoes is 100% going to be a high rated one.
I was
There's
gonna
no
say-
chance that that's not.
I feel like Goblet of Fire is a throwaway
Nope. Goblet of Fire is one of the best ones.
to some people.
Goblet of Fire. You don't like Goblet of Fire?
Oh, Goblet of Fire is great.
Don't tell that to Em, because that's her favorite one.
Oh, they kill Robert Pattinson. Woo.
Spoiler.
They killed
Spoilers.
Batman. Woo.
My
Oh,
My boy!
no!
Not even a top
He's
2
back.
My Boy scream.
Voldemort's back! It's like, all it reminds me of is that meme. It's like, hello, my boy. It's hello, father. And then he gets taken away. He's like, no, my boy.
Father, help.
Father, help.
I feel like Little Women's probably 1.
It's up there. I'm good with putting it at 1. Okay. And then, like, Ballet Shoes might be... It feels like a 3. Like, just going off of vibes I get from those words. It feels like a 3.
What? You guys see what I have to deal with when I play with Aaron? Just off the words, it sounds like it would be.
I want to put... I don't think Deathly Hallows could be 2, but it could also be, like, 4.
I feel like Azkaban is probably good. Is that the one with the time travel?
Yeah. That's the one that was directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
Oh, no, that's a good one then. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So that one's good. I
Yeah.
feel like that one's probably high.
Okay, so do you want to go...
So Little Women 1.
Goblet of Fire might end up being the throwaway.
You guys hear that thunder?
Nope.
Oh, I did. I got scared for a second. sound like someone was stealing my furniture.
Scared of sharks? No. Scared of thunder? Yes.
Yes.
I'm not scared of thunder. I grew out of that phase.
It's okay. It's okay to be scared of thunder.
All
All right, we got to make decisions here.
I'm not a sweet guy.
Connor's nickname is in school is like, you look at his yearbook and it says Connor Jameson, I'm afraid of thunder.
Fuck off. I think we should do Little Women 1, Ballet Shoes 2.
Yep. Sure. Perks of Being a Wallflower has to be up there. I think it's 3.
I'll say 3. I honestly feel like Deathly Hallows might be. It's either Hallows or Goblet of Fire in my mind for the throwaway.
Yeah.
So Perks 3,
I think Azkaban
4.
Yeah, and then it's kind of a coin flip. I like to think that Deathly Hallows, because it was the end of the whole saga, is going to be higher than Goblet of Fire, but that's just my thoughts. Okay, so then Goblet of Fire, Deathly Hallows is what it sounds like.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Okay, and then DH2. Okay.
DH Part 2.
All right.
Okay,
What do we
locking
got?
it in. We've got number 1, Little Women. Number 2, Ballet Shoes. Number 3, Perks of Being a Wallflower. Number 4, Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. Number 5, Goblet of Fire. Number 6, Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yeah, you got 2 right.
Oh, shit.
Wrong direction.
The throwaway, and this is gonna piss some people off in this chat right now, is Perks of Being a Wallflower.
You can go fuck yourself.
At 85%.
No, I refuse to call that movie a throwaway. I refuse.
Should have been Beauty and the Beast.
That'll be too easy for you guys.
Oh, Jesus.
Sometimes we need it.
Number 5 is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Oh, we got that one.
88%.
Got it.
Number 4 is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban
Oh, we got that one too.
at 90%.
Nothing else.
Number 3 is Little Women at 95%.
Oh, damn. 95. My God.
At 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, we have number
Ballet
1
Shoes.
is Ballet Shoes.
What the fuck even is that?
No fucking.
What even is that?
And then
But of
Deathly Hallows
course.
Part 2 is number 2 at 96%.
Jesus. No. Nah. That's,
I
nah.
refuse. I refuse.
Nah. Can we get a recount?
Stop the count.
All right.
There you go.
We got to get into our review. Did you have anyone else?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, perfect.
Figured
So-
we only have time for 2 of them, so.
Yeah, that works. All right, so we got to get into the review. We're reviewing Shark Tale. Are you guys ready to talk about Shark Tale?
Never been more ready.
All right, that's enough of that. All right, Shark Tale is a 2004 American animated comedy film produced by DreamWorks Animation. You've probably heard of them, not gonna lie. Directed by Vicky Jensen, Bebo
What?
Bergeron, which is the best name I've ever heard.
Bebo Burgers.
Bebo Burger Babe. And Rob Letterman. And from a screenplay written by Letterman and Michael J. Wilson. So, some of these people probably don't sound familiar, but they're behind some pretty solid works of animation. Vicky Jensen directed Shrek. So that's pretty good. And Bebo Bergeron directed The Road to El Dorado as well. Along with Flushed Away, if you like Flushed Away. And then Rob Letterman, his first directing credit was on Shark Tale, but he also co-directed Monsters vs. Aliens and a Pokemon Detective Pikachu from 2019. Kind of wild. Cat. I see a cat. There's a cat visitor. Oh God, cat's not happy. And then writer Michael J. Wilson, best known as the creator of the Ice Age movie franchise. So there's some hot names behind the camera here for this movie. Starring Will Smith, Robert De Niro, Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, and Martin Scorsese in a voice acting role, with music by Hans Zimmer. This film was released October 1st, 2004, with a runtime of 90 minutes, and a budget of $75 million. It made, can you guess? Can you give me a guess on how much this movie made?
$67 million.
Good 100 mil.
374.6 million.
Good lord.
And I just want to point out before we get into our review, no, we haven't talked at all about our thoughts on this movie. It was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars.
I did see that. There were 3 movies that were nominated. It was like this, Shrek 2, and I think it was The Incredibles who won.
Yeah. So...
Loaded class that year.
Yep. All right. Well, Sam, do you have some reviews for us today?
Do I have reviews?
You fucking better. It's just your job.
There's this movie got really well received by the audience. However, well, audience score, I want to say on Google reviews. Rotten Tomatoes is a different story.
Yeah. Well, you know the Google reviews is always like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. 5 stars.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Rotten Tomatoes, we got 35% on
Whoa!
the tomato meter with a 48% for the audience score. So they're both rotten review. They're both rotten.
Not bad. Not bad.
Let's see. And then I got a couple good ones on Google. So this one is a 5-star review. It says, The Godfather, Goodfellas, The Irishman, and Shark Tale all have 2 things in common. Robert De Niro and the Mafia. But only one of these films also features animated sharks. So I ask you, which film is the real cinema classic? And then it goes
Love
on
that.
to it's a super long review. I'm not going to read it, but yeah.
That's awesome.
And then a 1-star review I got. Here is 10 reasons why this movie sucks.
Oh, I love a list. I love a good list.
I like organized thoughts.
Excuse me.
The animation is utterly ridiculous. 2. Fish don't sit up right side up. They swim horizontally. 3.
Okay.
3. For the last time, fish do not speak English.
Okay.
Fair.
Number 4.
He's not wrong. Yeah.
Hey, he's not wrong. Number 4, fish don't look like Will Smith.
The fish. Number 4. The fish character Lola has more hourglass body than Kim K, and she's a fish.
Fair.
Okay.
Number
Yeah,
5.
fair.
Angie has thicker hair than I do. This is just horrible.
Okay.
Number 6.
Fair.
The crab named Crazy Joe is very bad because it goes to offend somebody named Joe, and he will think he is crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, man. You're losing it.
7.
You're losing the We got 3 more.
The character Luca looks like Squidward mixed with a shark and a wet crayon.
Okay.
Number 8. If you ask Lizzie Bookcase, Finding Nemo is better because he actually found his dad.
Wow. Oh my god. Well, actually, technically, his dad found him, so not really Will Smith's fault.
Number 9. Why the heck is Roz in this movie? By the way, in this movie, she is 90 years younger, FYI.
Okay. Cool.
Number 10. It was nominated Best Movie over SpongeBob. At least the Squidward in that movie has somewhat correct-looking body.
Wait, hold on.
This guy is
Wait. It has
that-
number 11, too.
Wait, there's a number 11.
This is an exact copy of SpongeBob, including Mr. Krebs and Squidward.
How what?
First off, how did this movie get nominated over SpongeBob? The
Yeah, that's a
SpongeBob
travesty.
movie.
So
That's a movie that made me cry as a child.
Here's 10 reasons gives 11.
What?
Listen, there are a number of things the science behind this movie, there is none. Sharks
no.
cannot just be still. They need to constantly be moving, otherwise they will suffocate. So
Okay, shark expert.
actually, when Oscar traps the sharks in you, and they should have been dead.
Actually, Robert De
me.
Niro is not a shark, okay?
Actually, sharks cannot sit upright like that. Sharks are actually not the
Actually, Actually, sharks can't operate a well-run mafia. Come on.
Actually, orcas are the apex predator of the ocean, so they would not be working for the sharks.
Jesus Christ. All right, we got to get into this, Connor. Are you ready to bring us through this movie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it. I have nothing. It's all you. I got nothing.
No, I was waiting
Actually,
for,
I
like,
can do
some
this. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. In the South Side Reef, a lonely fish named Oscar, who in his childhood dreamed of being a tongue scraper at the whale wash just like his late father, until his classmates cruelly made fun of him for it, fantasizes about being rich and famous. He owes a ton of money to his boss and the whale wash's owner, Sykes, played by Martin Scorsese. Meanwhile, there's Don Lino, the boss of a mob gang of sharks, orcas, sailfish, and octopuses, which Sykes works for, dislikes that his son Lenny is a vegetarian, and orders his eldest son Frankie to mentor him. Sykes is fired by Lino and forces Oscar to pay his debts. His best friend, an angelfish named Angie, who is in love with Oscar, offers him a pearl that was a gift from her grandmother to pawn and pay his debt.
Hey, did you get all of that? Because there's about 1 million different plot points going on.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you guys off the bat. Is this the most stacked cast that we've had on a review?
I want to say
It might be.
It's gotta be close, right? I mean, this...
And I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it until after I looked it up on like Letterboxd and I scrolled down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Wait.
you got Will Smith, Robert De Niro, Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, and Martin Scorsese. I mean, what? That's star power right there.
I'm looking at our other movies. I think the closest one might be either Wet Hot American Summer or 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, those might be the closest. Like, it's crazy that an animated movie got such a really just a loaded cast.
Yeah.
That said, the vibe of this movie was established immediately when they were doing the tour through the city, and you could kind of see, which I kind of liked. I kind of liked being able to see what like their regular life was like. But there was about 85 fish puns in the first 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys?
And not only just fish puns, but like there's like some like raunchy jokes in there too, like for a kids movie.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it was kind of like, I was like, what is the vibe here? What are we establishing?
I think right off the bat is when it struck me. I remember watching this younger, and I thought this movie was like really fun and whatnot. I do not like looking at this movie.
Yeah.
It is ugly.
Yeah, that's one
Ugly.
thing that we could probably get out of the way. Like, this movie did not age well.
No, the animation looked horrid. I was like shocked. At first I was like, oh, the animation is a bit outdated, but it's unique. It's got its own style, whatever. But then the movie kept going, and I was like, oh, this is just really ugly.
Yeah,
This is just really
movie.
bad.
Yeah.
This is just how it is. But I think one of the problems is the type of animation. That, like, total computer generated graphic style. I don't know exactly what kind of style it is, but that particular style, it looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to match with it, I thought the dialogue was also just like really awfully paced. Not awful, but like it was just off. Like I think everyone was kind of just rushing through their line. And
Yeah. I think the performances were solid, but the dialogue was just there.
I think this is a movie that's very funny in 2004.
And
For children.
I was going to say for younger the younger generation.
Yeah. That said, though, I mean, if you kind of navigate past all the various plot points at the beginning of this movie, it's a pretty neat world, and the story's there. Like, it's at the heart of it is this loser loner dude who works for what is basically a mob front.
Yeah.
As the car wash, and then the mob wants his money back. And then you got the Lenny storyline, which is, you know, the kid in the mob doesn't want to be part. Realistically, that's what it is he doesn't want to be part of the mob anymore. But it's made kid friendly because he's a shark who's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Which is wild. I like it though. I like the story. It's kind of like it's unique. I'll give it that.
I think it is pretty just it's like interesting, and I think it's pretty just straightforward too. Like you see where the points are gonna converge.
Yep, for sure, and it works. At this point, I think your point about the writing and the humor, it was funny for 2004. I literally have in my notes, I remember it being funnier.
Yeah.
Because it literally, like, I remember watching this movie so fondly and being like, yeah, this is great. This is a fun movie. I like this. And then, yeah.
The music is great, though. I like the music.
Oh. I mean, you heard a little bit of Car Wash earlier. That song's a banger.
Just.
All right. Does anyone have any other notes for the beginning of this movie?
I'm
Not really.
I just want to say that I didn't realize it was Jack Black until a little bit later as Lenny. So I was like, that voice sounds familiar, but I can't put a finger on it. And then I was like, oh, he kind of sounds like Poe from Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, Jack Black's a great voice actor. I got to give him credit.
Oh yeah.
I think the thing I like the most about this first section is just the world building a little bit. Yeah. I think that they did that not like super well, but like relatively well. They gave us like pretty much the gist of where they are and stuff. So
yeah, to that, I feel like it's interesting to think about like how the ecosystem is if like everyone is like sentient, but you still have like sharks who will eat like shrimp as like a cocktail.
Yep.
It's like,
yeah.
Do they just like eat other fish served on a platter? Do they have to? Is this the only restaurant in this entire sea? How does this work?
Well, I mean, if you notice at the beginning, they had the sushi restaurant that had no business at all.
Wonder why.
Shockingly enough.
All right, moving on.
All right, let's move on.
Oscar brings the money from the Pearl to a seahorse race to meet Sykes, but hears that the race is rigged and bets it all on a seahorse named Lucky Day. Lola, a gold-digging lionfish, sees this and flagrantly seduces Oscar. Sykes is annoyed that Oscar bet the money, but he hopes that Oscar might win. Lucky Day, which revealed that the race was rigged against him as he could not get out of his gate, eventually takes the lead, only to trip and lose short of the finish line. Sykes loses his temper and orders his two Jamaican henchmen jellyfish, Ernie and Bernie, to deal with Oscar. While the two taunt the helpless Oscar, Frankie sees them and urges Lenny to eat Oscar, but he instead frees him and tells him to escape. Furious and fed up with his brother's tenderness, Frankie charges at Oscar, but suddenly an anchor from above drops on him and kills Frankie. Devastated and blaming himself for his brother's death, Lenny leaves.
Deus Ex Anchor. Just want to throw that out there.
I remember that scene being like a bit more drawn out. I thought there was more of a chase. I thought it was more build up. No.
It was literally like they went 5 feet and the anchor just dropped.
And I thought it was like just, oh, he's dead. Now he doesn't talk, nothing. But no, he's like giving a little conversation to Lenny, just like, you're such a disappointment.
Yeah, you're terrible. This is like, we're getting towards like halfway through the movie at this point. And I'll tell you what, the story that they set up has gone nowhere by this point. Like, this movie's 90 minutes long. We get to the halfway point of the movie before the movie has even gotten anywhere in their plot. Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy. I love that. I think the sharks are the best part of this movie. Their whole culture, the mob culture that they establish with the sharks, is great. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. And partly, I think, is because Robert De Niro is one of the best actors ever. And, you know, he could act his way through a hole in the wall. Mm-hmm. But what we don't see enough of is why, like, I get it. Sharks are sharks. They eat fish. Great. Why are they so feared? Why is this city so I mean, but like, show us that. It relies solely on the fact that we know that like sharks have this stigma on them that they're like evil. But they have the one scene with the shrimp that really shows their pull, like that they actually can be mean. There's nothing in this movie to show why the whole city should be afraid of one shark.
Well, I feel like you can't have, it's a kids movie, you can't have them like eating a fish, because now we know that these fish are like people in this world. So it would just be like if, I don't know, like a bigger person just walked by and ate you. Like, no.
Yeah, but they could have at least been like shown like them like being a bully, shaking down like fish people, whatever.
But I like that because it's more of like that. It's like The Godfathers. Like, you never see Don Corleone, or at least I haven't seen part 2. At least in part 1, you don't see him like shake down people. He has his sharks for that.
Yeah, but we don't see any of the sharks do that. That's the thing. It's like, give me one scene. This movie's 90 minutes long. You can add a 5-minute scene of a shark shaking down some fish people for money or something like that.
Or give me a chase even. It doesn't have to be like
right.
that.
Give me a chase, you know? Because literally it's like the sharks to the city are like these big bad guys. But then as soon as Oscar shows up, they're like kind of wimpy. I'm not going to lie. What did you think of the horse race? The seahorse race?
Love the gambling mentality. Love it.
He's like, yeah, I've got this thing. This person gave me money to be able to pay off my debts. I'm going to go pay off my debts, putting all of my money on a horse to win.
The long shot. I did like the when he's like envisioning Angie, like what would she say? She's just like, you know, take this money and put it all on Lucky Day, baby. 200.
You're gonna bet it all. Bet it all.
That's what my inner voice says too.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of that Family Guy clip of Peter going to the store. He's like, I need milk and eggs and cheese. I need milk,
eggs,
and whatever,
and a toy.
Something else. And I need a toy, a Joe Dirt DVD. It's like, that was Oscar's inner monologue. He's like, gotta pay off my debts. Gonna get free, start over new. Gonna pay off my debts.
Toss some money down.
And there's a bet. And I'll be okay. Gonna bet all of my money on the long shot.
And I'm gonna fuck
and hope
this
that he
fish.
wins. And I might be screwed. So good. And then the race actually happens, and the seahorse punched itself in the face, and that's why it lost. Mm-hmm. That was kind of wild. I'd be pissed if that was me and I watched that. That horse is not going home that day alive from someone. Yeah. Like, someone's gonna lose a lot of like.
Well,
imagine seeing that though. Imagine seeing like. Imagine going to a horse race. Just bear with me. Imagine going to a horse race and you're sitting there and you put a lot of money on a long shot And the long shot takes like a huge lead and it's coming down to the fish line and then it just stops. And lets all the other horses go by.
I'd shoot myself.
Yes.
I'm not making it out of the stadium.
That jockey might be dead by the time he leaves that stadium. Because someone's going to be like, you lost me $1 million today. Go to hell.
Especially because it was already rigged against him.
Yeah, right.
I wonder if those fish who were like saying like, oh, like I heard it's gonna be lucky days, just 200 to 1. I wonder if they were plants to be like, I need people to keep betting on this. Just like shift the odds for me.
Yeah, to keep up the odds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That's a good point.
Because I don't think we see them bet. I think we just hear them say, I got this foolproof plan. Which, kids, if you're out there and you want to gamble, if someone says foolproof, run.
Yeah, do not go with foolproof.
No. It sounds enticing.
If it was foolproof, they'd be rich.
Yeah, they would not tell anyone.
Yeah, right. It's the same thing with those like TikTok like get rich courses. Like I will teach you how to get rich. It's like if they actually knew how to get rich, they wouldn't be teaching you, and they wouldn't be selling a course to do it either.
I fucking hate those where it's just like,
I know.
Here's how I made 10 grand in one weekend. I made AI cups. And and then someone tries, it's like, wow, I made $4. Because everyone
Here's how I made 10 grand in a weekend. I asked my parents for 10 grand this weekend.
I asked my parents for 20 grand and they negotiated me down to 10.
So just, ask your parents for 10 grand and you'll be all set.
Oh.
Yeah. Easy as that.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, it's easy as that. I love how Sykes instantly, as soon as the horse loses that race, he's like, kill him. Just fucking kill him. Just kill him. Kill him, Oscar. Kill Oscar. Kill him. I don't care what you do. Just kill him. It's just an instant, like, this guy's dead to me.
Fair. Very fair.
Fair.
Because now Sykes is like, I'm going to get eaten by these fucking sharks because I don't have their money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But honestly, technically, it's not even like, I mean, we kind of skipped over it, the whole, like, food chain scene in the first section.
Yeah.
It's not even like that money that he gave to Oscar is the sharks' money. It is just now that the sharks are saying, you need to pay us for protection. And he's like, I don't have the money for that. Mm-hmm. So you need to give me my money back. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like he directly needs to give that money to the sharks. He just needs his money back. And he's instantly like, I don't care what you do to him. Take him out into the desert and just kill him.
I don't care. It'd be funny if somehow they had like a balloon. Because you know how like the mob might, hypothetically, like toss someone in a lake with a boulder tied around their ankles. Mm-hmm. It'd be I'm pretty sure a movie has done that where it's like the inverse of it, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna tie a balloon to you and you're going right up, and you will
yeah, and you'll fall to your death eventually.
No, you'll just suffocate up there
or suffocate. Yep. This is also the section where we got the first meeting between Lenny and Oscar, like that first initial meeting. Mm-hmm. Which again is like halfway through the movie, but I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad.
That was okay.
It was, whatever. I think they have a better first, quote unquote, first meeting a little bit later on, but is, it kind of it works to kind of get them into the story. That's about it. Mm-hmm. I think they should have met a lot earlier, but is what it is.
Yeah, because I have a point that I'll get to in the next section.
Oh. Yeah, let's move to the next section too. Anyone else got anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. So, with no other witnesses, Oscar takes credit for killing Frankie and quickly rises in fame as a shark slayer, and moves to the top of the reef to live in luxury, while Sykes becomes his manager and forgives his debt. At the same time, Lino has everyone search for Lenny and the shark slayer. Oscar encounters Lenny, who, It knows Oscar's lie, begs Oscar to let him stay at his place to avoid returning home. Oscar wants to retire, but Lola persuades him not to. Angie soon finds out about Oscar's lie and threatens to tell everyone, but he and Lenny convince her to be quiet. The next day, Oscar and Lenny stage a battle between themselves, where he, quote-unquote, kills Lenny, cementing his popularity and makes the sharks believe that Lenny has been killed too, which infuriates Lino. Lola kisses Oscar on the camera, on the Jumbotron, making Angie jealous. That night, Lenny disguises himself for his new life as a dolphin. Oscar and Angie get into a heated argument where she reveals that she had romantic feelings for Oscar even before becoming the shark's lair. A remorseful Oscar sadly reflects on his selfishness and dumps Lola, who beats his ass up in anger.
Yeah. This whole Shark Slayer stuff, I'm going to keep saying it. This should have happened way sooner. It's halfway through the film and we're finally getting to this part. I do like, though, that his whole deal is I need to be rich and famous because that's the only way to live life. Mm-hmm. And it's all because kids made fun of him because his dad works at a whale wash. That's like his only motivation. So I'm gonna stick it to those fourth graders. I'm somebody. I am somebody.
It's funny too because those fish are probably just like accountants somewhere.
Yeah, right. They're just like average people. A couple of them probably work at a restaurant. Like they went nowhere. But Oscar's got this motivation, man. He's gonna prove to everybody.
Yeah. I think it could have helped if they had a scene where one of those fishes, after like it was revealed that that's why he was embarrassed and whatnot, was super successful as like, I don't know, TV star or whatever, made fun of him at the car wash, and then it kind of really propelled him forward.
Reinforced it.
Yeah.
But that would be compelling, Connor.
Well, I'm sorry. I just want to make my shark movies good.
There's also like some characters are just missing through major parts of this movie.
Yeah.
Like there are long stretches where we don't see main character. Like Angie just isn't in major parts of this movie. Same thing with Lenny for stretches. Like they're just not in it, and they needed to be. Absolutely needed to be.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I feel like what I was gonna say is, I feel like Lenny and Oscar got way too close, way too fast. When their only interaction, basically up until that point before like the fight, was, "Hey, my brother died. Hey, I don't want to go home. Do you got a place?"
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, yeah. The slaying scene though, where they team up to actually like slay a shark, is fun. I like it.
It's fun.
Yeah, that was pretty. Like when you don't have to focus on the actual story or the dialogue or anything like that, you can just watch a guy try and beat up a shark. Yeah, that's great. I like it. I also like too at the party where Oscar's like, "Yeah, thanks. I'm the new Shark Slayer, and I'm retiring. I'm done. I'm out. See you later."
Kills one shark, yeah.
Kills one shark.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Well, I like too, because it's like, oh, a shark has been spotted, and he's the first one to be like, "Everyone, get the fuck out! Like, tell your loved ones you love them. We're all gonna die."
Yup. And he's like, "Wait, that's what it used to be, right? Yeah, right? Am I right?" High-fiving people, like, yeah. Oh, my God. But I love that. It would be literally like if a basketball player came in and hit one shot in the NBA Finals and like, "All right, I'm done. See you later." He just walks off. He just walks off.
It's not the one shot. It's like the winning shot, and he's like,
"Yeah, he gets the winning shot."
I'm done.
He's like, "All right, I'm done. I'm never playing basketball ever again in my life. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna coast off this shot and no one will hear of me again except at autograph signings.
Mm-hmm. I love to, like, he becomes a shark slayer and this instant phenom, like, overnight, and he goes around the town and he's got, like, advertisements and billboards, and he's doing product ads, and it's like, Jesus, how busy has this guy been?
Yeah. Because that was the thing, too. Until, like, that was, like, I was trying to think, how do you just get rich and famous for, like, doing one heroic thing? And then, it showed it. But then I was just like, yeah, you killed a shark. People aren't just like, well, man, here's 100,000 clams just for your troubles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for killing a shark. Oh, man. Yep. That was kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I don't know about how you guys feel, but I think Angie is the best character in this movie, like, by far.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the whole Lola situation was not well enough done. Because it's very clear, like, oh, I don't need to like her. They could have, because she, from her very first scene, was like, I am super shallow. Do not, if there's one thing to know about me, yes, I'm hot, and if you ain't rich, keep walking.
I don't want,
Yeah, right.
I feel like they could have at least
literally, and to the point where she does actually walk away too. She's like, "Oh, you're not actually rich. See you later. Goodbye. See ya. Fuck you. Don't
And as soon as he got famous and was on the big screen, she's like, "Oh, Oscar."
She's like, my next victim."
Oh, Oscar.
Stupid. But this is also kind of the turning point of this movie, where the beginning takes, like I've said, it takes a long time to develop. We get to the point where now the point is made and this is the plot of the movie, and it's going like breakneck speed. Like, they are sprinting to the finish by this point. I think they realize, like, okay, so now Frankie's dead.
Yes.
We have this whole rest of this movie to go. We're running out of money. We gotta go. Because that's literally what happens. Like, it's like, it goes from like scene to scene as like, okay, Lenny and Oscar meet. Now they're fighting. Now they have this scheme. Now they're doing the Shark Slayer. And then now this. And then now, and then now the next part. And then it's like, it's just one after another. It's just constant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like not a lot is developed in this half of the movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's no, like, even in Corvette Summer, it was like, okay, once he, like, starts getting money, we see how his, like, whole life is changing and how, like, his personality is shifting. I feel like we didn't get that a lot with Oscar. Yeah. It was like, oh, he threw, like, a party or two.
Yeah. I mean, Oscar's always been shallow, and he's always been, like, reaching for that rich and famous goal. But I agree, his whole, like, he goes from this is my whole personality, like, all I want to do is be rich and famous, whatever, and then he has the one fight with Angie and he's like, I'm a new man, I'm a changed man.
Well, he shows something where he's like, man, I'm just not satisfied.
Literally, like him sitting alone in his big old fancy apartment, and he's like got nothing to do, like he's all bored. He's just sitting.
Because normally it would be exposed at this point, like, oh, he's a fake, which would lead up to the climax.
Yeah, right. Anything else for this section before we get to the last section?
No.
Okay, let's do it.
Oscar visits the whale wash with gifts for Angie, only to discover that she has been kidnapped by Lino in order to stage a meeting. Lola is also attending, as she only wants money and revenge. Lino threatens to eat Angie if Oscar does not surrender, but Lenny, quote-unquote, eats Angie to save her. While Oscar is boasting, Lenny throws her up and reveals himself to his father. Enraged, Lino chases Oscar through the reef. Oscar flees to the whale wash, accidentally trapping Lenny in the machinery before also trapping Lino. Everyone cheers for Oscar, but he finally confesses the truth behind Frankie's death while urging Lino to respect Lenny's lifestyle. The two sharks reconcile, and Lino states that he and his gang bear the city no ill will. Oscar forsakes all the wealth he has acquired, becomes co-owner of the whale wash, which is now frequented by the gang members, and reconciles, beginning a romantic relationship with Angie. That's how the movie ends.
Hooray! The meeting between Oscar and the sharks is great. I love that scene. It's the best scene in the movie.
I like that.
Like,
too.
hands down. Yeah. Mainly again because of the performances. I think Jack Black is great. But it's, Robert De Niro really just elevates every single scene he's in. I mean, he shows up there and he's a mob boss. Mm-hmm. You know it. In your soul, you know it. And that works so well.
I didn't really like the whole, I thought some of the boasting was fine, but once he did the whole stop Oscar time, that was when it really hit. This probably got a hoot in 2004. 20 years later, not
probably
so much.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Could care less about that. I agree with that for sure. Also, I don't really understand why Lenny had to quote unquote eat Angie. Why couldn't he just take her and then be like, all right, we have her now. Here she is, ready? Why did he have to fully did he ingest her?
No.
What?
She was still in his.
So confused.
She was still in his mouth. Pause.
Yeah. Then why didn't he just let her out of his mouth? They have her at that point.
Yeah. It's so easy to just hold something in your mouth without swallowing.
Right. Or just let her go. At that point, she's on she's not in captivity anymore. Just
grab her,
put her down,
spit her out.
Yeah, literally. Instead, he does this whole thing. He's like, he just vomits all over the place. Mm-hmm. First off, ate a cello? I think that was the cello that he had eaten.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Well, not to get the big brain on you guys with sharks, but yes,
all right.
Sharks do eat anything in the ocean, but that's mostly tiger sharks. When they've caught a tiger shark and cut him open, they've found license plates, fishing rod, just whatever you could find in the
just
ocean.
Random stuff.
Great whites, I feel are a bit more. They're gonna eat seal and fish and whales.
Yeah.
But I guess if he's a vegetarian, he doesn't have that. He's probably I can't fuck a cello is gonna have to do, or a violin.
Yeah, right. Then we get the chase scene,
mm-hmm.
and for everything that this movie is built up to, this is the dramatic climax almost. It's done and over with way too fast.
It's the same thing with the Frankie death. It's a chase. Oh no, he's trapped. Never mind.
Yep. All right, it's done. And I love how the stupid shrimp. That was so stupid. He comes out, he's like, yeah, get ready. I'm going to beat your ass. And all they do is just make a fake mustache on him. He's like, no!
Yeah. I
freaks out.
I did not like the shrimp in the two scenes they had.
No.
My sister
I could care less.
is dead and I'm raising her kids. Shut the fuck up.
No remorse. No remorse.
I'm on Lino's side. Just eat the fucking shrimp.
Just eat it.
Eat it, bitch.
I will say though, for all of this whole movie's deals, the message at the end was cute. They wrapped it up nicely for a kids movie. They wrapped it up to where it was okay, I get it. It was good. At least they didn't totally fumble the ending. I like that, Lenny and Lino, they made up, and Angie and Oscar ended up together. It was like the stereotypical happy ending. The reef is safe, whatever. But, you know, it was what this movie needed to really give it a pickup at the end.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. I do wish, though, that we had seen more of Lenny as Sebastian, the dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he comes out like in that persona, and then we get the quarter second moment of him at the whale wash working when Oscar finds out that Angie's gone, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm Lenny again," basically.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I was not the most entertained throughout this movie, and I know there's a post-credit scene. As soon as I heard the music, I was like, done.
Gone. I did stay for the last song because it was, you know, a banger, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we ready to do final scores?
Yeah.
All right, let's do final scores, starting with the acting. Who wants to kick us off there?
Sure.
All right.
Honestly, I think this is probably the strongest part of the movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like it was good, but nothing like too out there. Besides, I would say maybe Robert De Niro, but
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. The acting was definitely a strong point. Everyone was good. Robert De Niro, like I said, was great. Jack Black was awesome as Lenny. I thought Renee Zellweger did a great job, and it was just all of the stars that they brought in were solid. I felt like Will Smith did his job as Oscar, but you know, it was solid. I gave it a 3.5.
I'm the low man of the group. I gave it a 2.5. Yeah, I think De Niro's great. It took me a while to realize Jack Black was even in the movie, and I felt at times that Will Smith was doing a lot of overacting. Maybe that was just because that was how the lines were written for him, but there are a lot of times where I was like, oh my god, dude, shut up.
Yeah, I think that kind of brings down the acting a little bit. It was because of the writing. I know the writing. We'll get to it, but...
Yeah, like the whole Crazy Joe character. Again, it's a movie for kids. Kids probably love that. I am not a kid.
Yeah.
I did not love that.
I did not love it.
Therefore, I did not love it.
Story concept. There you go. Story concept is the next section. I want to kick us off. This was my strongest point of the movie. I was intrigued by the story and the idea of the movie. Having a whole underwater society of fish that live like average people, and then the sharks are a whole mob that like is basically running the things behind the scene and makes it was fun. And then you got the loner who strives to be, you know, rich and famous. I liked it. I thought the concept of the movie and the story were solid, so I gave it a 4.
Damn. This was my highest as well, but I gave it a 3. Just because, as we kind of mentioned throughout, it does take a while to get to that moment of the two just kind of stories meeting. But I did like the loner, the loser guy who wants better for himself and kind of lucks into that. As well as you have like the prodigal son and like the outcast son kind of just competing to be like equally respected, and I did like that. And once they finally did meet, I was like, all right, we're cooking, but it took too long.
I was right there with you, Connor, at a 3. I think the biggest thing for me was like the world building and how all the fish kind of like work together in a way, like at the car wash and stuff like that. There were certain fish to do the barnacles and stuff like that. So, and again, I think the story was relatively all right. So,
All right, and we got visuals. Who wants to talk about the visuals first?
I'll start. Not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Plain and simple. I didn't like the animation. I didn't like the colors. I felt like a lot of the motion wasn't great. I'm tossing in the music in here just because I do think it was a stronger point. So it does save it, but I'm sitting at like a 1.5.
Yeah, I was even worse on this. Movie's ugly. It's ugly. It's hard to watch at times. You can tell how like rigid the animation can be at times too. Like there were literally points where I was watching it, and like obviously when you're watching an animated movie, you know that it's computer generated, whatever. But like there were times where I was watching, I was like, oh, this is how they animated it. And you can see like his character's supposed to move like this, and well, it didn't feel fluid at all.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 1. On top of looking horrendous.
They didn't do much
So
with like
it's a
water
1 for me.
dynamic. Like I feel like
No.
there wasn't. I remember hearing a story. It was like when a guy wanted to pitch like an animated show to like producers, and the number one question they ask every single time is, why does it have to be animated? And it was like, I get like you want to do characters in like the ocean, but what factor is the ocean actually going to play? Like just
Yeah,
they
right.
can go up and down, swim fast. Like there's no, they didn't do enough with like the murkiness outside of like the intro with the worm and like the dust kind of opening up to when Lenny was freeing Oscar.
Yeah, I also gave it a 1.5 out of 5. It wasn't good. Nothing. And again, like the music, yeah, bump it up a little bit, but even then, it was all right.
Yeah. And finally, the writing. Sam, you want to start us off with that?
I give it a 2 out of 5. I think some of the jokes were good, but 1, there was way too many, and 2, like there's a couple that like were unneeded, like the Crazy Joe situation, and yeah, so nothing to stand out.
Yeah. 2 out of 5 as well for me. The dialogue was whatever. It felt forced at times. It felt overdone. The writing of it took too long for the movie to develop into what it needed to be, and that's partly because of how it was written. It's just, I was just like, whatever. You know, you give shit to a superstar, and it's still gonna be shit. You know, so I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm right there too. 2 out of 5. I think it did have clever moments, but a lot of it's just, I think they're written to do too much. So just kind of letting it be.
Yep.
Too much.
All right, so that's going to bring a what?
I said too much in too little time.
Exactly.
Yes, too much in too little time. Well, that's going to bring us to our overall enjoyment score. This is our final score for the review. So each of us, I can start. When you add up all of my scores and you even it out, it comes out to a 2.625, which I think accurately describes my thoughts on this movie. Because realistically, it's just there. Like it's. I think kids like it. I know I liked it when I was younger. It's just there, and there's really not much that I want out of it. You know, it's just kind of there. And I think a perfectly middle of the road score encapsulates that.
Yeah, so you're a bit higher than critics and audience.
Slightly, but yeah, a little bit. Mainly because of the story concept I was a fan of. If I had dropped that down even a 3, I probably would have been right in line with a lot of people.
I was lower on it. I give it a 2 out of 5 for enjoyment. It definitely isn't the movie I remember it to be, which that's just how life is, you know. Not everything from your past you're going to look at with like rose tinted glasses. Yeah, I really just couldn't get into it this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and I gave, if you add up all my scores, it's a 2.4.
Oh.
So again, it doesn't really hold up. Like, I know a lot of these other nostalgic animated movies, like, you can watch over and over again. When I was younger, I didn't watch this movie like, not a lot, but like, I did watch it a few times. But again, it's nothing that I would probably want to see again in the near future until I have kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. So if you add up all of our scores, you tally them out, it comes out to an average rating of a 2.34, which is 22nd on our list of movies that we've watched. Right below Corvette Summer, right above Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's sitting right there at the bottom. Next week, we're going to be watching and reviewing Sharknado. It'll be a bit of a lesser... there won't be as many people on the pod because Sam's going to be gone, but that's okay. We're going to be talking about Sharknado. So stay tuned for that. If you like what you heard today, leave a rating, subscribe, follow us on your favorite podcast platform, do all that fun stuff, share it with your friends. It all helps us out. And you can follow us on Twitter at FilmboxPod. You can follow me specifically on socials. I tweet about and I post about a lot on my Twitter, which will be linked in the description. And then I do a series on TikTok where I'm watching and reviewing the Letterboxd Top 250 American Films. So you can check that out. Go to our website, pressplaymag.com, for newest reviews of movies and various other articles. See our written content, as well as keeping up to date with the podcast there if you want. And also, follow us on Letterboxd. You can see what we're watching when we're watching it while we watch it. And you don't have to wait for each episode to find out what we've been watching. Lots of watches. Connor saw 20,000 movies this past week. So if you wanted to stay up to date on that, you can do that there. Those will be in the show notes as well. And Connor, we need to do you have movies for us today? You are totally muted.
Thank you. Of course,
there
I
you
have
go.
movies.
There we go. 1 through 5 again, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna do number 3, right smack dabski in the middle.
Well, in the middle would have been 2.5. However,
Actually, it would have been 2.5.
I'll go with number 1.
All right. I am watching City Lights and The Untouchables.
Ah, okay. Well, stay tuned for the next episode to hear Connor's thoughts on those movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you next time.
Happy Shark Month, folks.